Let me ask you something. When was the last time you were truly alone and felt completely fulfilled? Most people think being alone means being lonely, but that's A-L-I-E. Loneliness is not about the absence of people, it's about the absence of purpose, passion, and connection with yourself. If you can't be happy alone, you'll never be truly happy with anyone else. The secret? Master your mind, own your emotions, and create a life so rich in meaning that solitude becomes your greatest advantage. Because when you learn to love your own company, you become unstoppable. Happiness is not something we stumble upon, it's something we cultivate. It's not about the circumstances we find ourselves in, but the meaning we assign to them. Many people believe that being alone equates to loneliness, but that belief is just a perception, and perceptions can be changed. When you shift the way you see solitude, you unlock a level of inner peace, confidence, and fulfillment that most people never experience. Think about it. How many times have you felt lonely in a crowded room? How often have you been surrounded by people yet still felt disconnected? That's because happiness isn't about external factors. It's about internal alignment. Being alone is only a problem if you associate it with lack. But what if you started seeing it as an opportunity instead? An opportunity to develop an unshakable mindset, to connect deeply with yourself, and to build a life that excites you. That's when everything changes. It all starts in your mind. Your mind is the single most powerful tool you have, and it dictates the quality of your life. If you train it to see solitude as painful, then every moment alone will feel like suffering. But if you train it to see solitude as a gift, a space for growth, creativity, and personal power, then being alone becomes one of the most valuable experiences you can have. The key is to become the master of your mind rather than its prisoner. One of the first steps in mastering your mindset is awareness. Ask yourself, what do I believe about being alone? Be brutally honest. Do you see it as something to avoid, something to fear, something that makes you feel like you're missing out? If so, recognize that these beliefs are not facts. They are just conditioned responses from past experiences, from societal expectations, from fear. And the good news is, beliefs can be changed. Start by questioning the stories you tell yourself. If you say, I'm alone because no one wants to be with me, flip the script. What if you're alone because this is your time to build, to create, to evolve? If you say, I feel empty without someone by my side, shift the focus. What if you filled that space with self-discovery, new skills, deeper self-awareness? The way you frame your reality shapes how you feel about it. And when you change the frame, you change your life. Another powerful way to master your mindset is by controlling your focus. Whatever you focus on expands. If you focus on the emptiness of being alone, that's all you'll see. But if you focus on the possibilities, the freedom, the space to grow, the time to invest in yourself, then suddenly solitude becomes a privilege rather than a punishment. The mind is like a muscle, and just like any muscle, it strengthens through repetition. Train it daily to find the benefits in being alone, and soon your emotions will follow. And here's the secret: emotion follows motion. If you sit still, dwell on negative thoughts, and do nothing, you'll feel stuck, powerless. But the moment you take action, whether it's exercising, learning something new, pursuing a passion, you shift your emotional state. That's why movement is so important. If you ever feel overwhelmed by loneliness, don't just sit in it. Move. Go for a run, take a walk, start a new project. Action breaks patterns. Action rewires the mind. Gratitude is another game changer. When you start appreciating what you already have, you realize that happiness has always been within you. It's just been buried under expectations, comparisons, and conditioned fears. Every day, take a moment to acknowledge the good in your life, the freedom you have, the opportunities at your fingertips, the small joys that often go unnoticed. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. And when you see life through the lens of abundance, being alone doesn't feel like deprivation, it feels like empowerment. The bottom line is this: your mind is the gatekeeper of your happiness. It determines whether you feel trapped in solitude or liberated by it. When you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your emotions. And when you take control of your emotions, you take control of your life. So start today, start rewiring the way you think about being alone. See it as a gift, not a burden. See it as a time to build yourself, to strengthen your mind, to create a life you love. Because when you master your mindset, you realize something incredible. You were never really alone. You've always had the most powerful company in the world yourself. Most people spend their lives seeking validation and fulfillment from external sources. relationships, social approval, or constant interaction with others. But the truth is, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. The quality of your life is directly tied to the quality of this relationship. If you don't enjoy your own company, if you don't love and respect yourself, you will always feel a sense of lack, even in the presence of others. That's why learning to build a powerful relationship with yourself is not just beneficial, it's essential. One of the first steps in strengthening this relationship is self-awareness. You need to truly know yourself, beyond the roles you play, beyond the expectations of others. Who are you when there is no one else around? What do you enjoy? What makes you feel alive? Many people don't have answers to these questions because they've spent their lives adapting to what others want, fitting into molds, and seeking approval. But when you take the time to get to know yourself, your passions, your values, your dreams, you begin to feel a deeper sense of connection with yourself. Self-care is another crucial element. Taking care of yourself is not just about indulging in luxuries, it's about treating yourself with the same love and kindness that you would offer to someone you care about. This means setting boundaries, prioritizing your well-being, and making choices that serve your highest good. It means feeding your mind with positive thoughts, your body with nourishing food, and your soul with experiences that bring you joy. When you care for yourself in this way, you reinforce the message that you are worthy, that you matter, and that belief transforms the way you feel about being alone. Another key aspect of building a strong relationship with yourself is learning to silence the inner critic, that voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that you're missing something, that you need others to feel complete. Those are just conditioned thoughts, not truths. You wouldn't speak to a friend the way your inner critic speaks to you, so why do you accept that negativity from yourself? Start shifting your self-talk. Replace self-criticism with encouragement. Instead of saying, I'm alone because I'm not lovable, say, I'm alone because this is my time to grow and thrive. Your words shape your reality, and the more you speak to yourself with kindness and empowerment, the stronger your self-relationship becomes. Self-love is often misunderstood. It's not about arrogance, and it's not about ignoring your flaws. It's about embracing all parts of yourself, the good, the bad, the strengths, the struggles, and accepting yourself fully. You are not meant to be perfect. You are meant to be real, to learn, to evolve. When you truly accept yourself, being alone is no longer something to fear. It becomes a space of freedom, of authenticity, of self-expression. Spending time alone is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself on a deeper level. Instead of seeing solitude as a void to be filled, see it as a chance to explore what makes you happy, to engage in activities that bring you joy, to create, to dream, to grow. Read books that expand your mind, engage in hobbies that excite you, practice mindfulness and meditation to strengthen your inner peace. The more you invest in yourself, the more you realize that your happiness has never been dependent on others. It has always been within you. But building a strong relationship with yourself also means embracing your emotions, even the difficult ones. Many people fear being alone because it forces them to face their thoughts, their insecurities, their past pain. But avoiding those emotions doesn't make them go away, it only keeps you stuck. Instead of running from them, sit with them, acknowledge them, understand them, and then choose to release them. Growth comes from facing yourself fully, not just the parts that are easy to accept. Another powerful way to deepen your self-connection is through personal growth. Set goals that challenge you, learn new skills, push beyond your comfort zone. The more you grow, the more confident and fulfilled you become. When you continuously evolve, you realize that you don't need others to validate you because your worth comes from within. You become someone who doesn't just survive solitude, you thrive in it. At the end of the day, the key to being happy alone isn't about avoiding people or rejecting relationships. It's about becoming so fulfilled within yourself that relationships become a choice, not a necessity. When you build a strong relationship with yourself, you stop looking for someone to complete you. You realize you were whole all along. And that is the true power of being happy alone. One of the biggest misconceptions about happiness is that it comes from external sources, relationships, status, material success. But real, lasting happiness comes from something much deeper. Having a sense of purpose. Purpose gives your life direction, meaning, and fulfillment. It fuels your passion, your motivation, and your ability to push forward even when no one else is around. If you want to be happy alone, you must create a life of purpose, one that excites you and makes you look forward to each day. Purpose isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you create. Many people sit and wait for some grand revelation to tell them what their purpose is. But the truth is, purpose is built through action, through exploration, through following what excites you. The first step is to ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What makes me feel alive? These questions guide you toward the things that bring fulfillment, the things that give your life meaning, beyond just getting through the day. For some, purpose might come from creative expression, writing, painting, making music. For others, it might come from building something, whether it's a business, a skill, or a craft. And for many, it comes from helping others, from making an impact, from contributing something valuable to the world. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just has to be something that gives you energy, something that makes you feel like your time is being spent on something worthwhile. One of the biggest challenges people face when they are alone is the feeling of emptiness, of not knowing what to do with their time. But when you have purpose, you never feel lost. You wake up with excitement because you have something to work on, something that drives you. You don't rely on others for entertainment, for distraction, for validation, because you are too busy building, creating, and growing. Creating a life of purpose requires effort, discipline, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. It means setting goals and working toward them consistently, even when no one is watching. Many people feel unfulfilled because they drift through life without intention. They let the days pass without actively shaping them. But when you take control, when you decide what you want and go after it with everything you have, life starts to feel meaningful. The key is to start small. If you don't know what your purpose is yet, don't let that stop you from taking action. Try new things, experiment, challenge yourself, read books, take classes, learn skills. Every new experience adds another piece to the puzzle. Purpose isn't found in one big moment. It's built over time, through trial and error, through following what excites you. Another important aspect of purpose is growth. Humans are designed to evolve, to push limits, to strive for more. When you stop growing, you start feeling stagnant. And that's when loneliness can turn into suffering. But when you are constantly learning, improving, and becoming better, you feel energized. Every day becomes an opportunity to become a stronger, smarter, more capable version of yourself. One of the greatest benefits of having purpose is that it makes solitude feel empowering rather than isolating. When you are deeply engaged in something meaningful, you don't feel alone. You feel focused, determined, fulfilled. You aren't sitting around waiting for someone to come and fill a void because there is no void. You have created a life that excites you, that keeps you engaged, that makes you feel like you are truly living. People often think happiness comes from being surrounded by others, but the truth is, many people are surrounded by others and still feel empty inside. That's because they lack purpose. Connection with others is important, but it is not a replacement for inner fulfillment. When you build a life that excites you, relationships become a bonus, not a necessity. You attract people who align with your vision, who support your growth, who add to your life rather than fill a gap. At the core of it all, happiness isn't about avoiding loneliness. It's about embracing life fully. It's about waking up each day with a sense of excitement, with a clear direction, with something to work toward. It's about creating a life that is so fulfilling that you don't need external validation to feel whole. So if you want to be happy alone, stop waiting for purpose to come to you. Go out and create it. Follow what excites you. Set goals that challenge you. Commit to growing, learning, and evolving every single day. Because when you live with purpose, you don't just exist, you thrive. And when you thrive, happiness is no longer something you chase. It's something you live. One of the most fulfilling ways to be happy alone is to embrace personal growth and find ways to contribute to the world around you. Growth and contribution are deeply connected. When you continuously improve yourself, you become more capable of adding value to the lives of others. And when you contribute, you experience a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond temporary happiness. These two elements create a cycle of purpose, self-worth, and inner peace, allowing you to thrive in solitude rather than feel burdened by it. Personal growth begins with self-awareness. When you take time alone, you have a unique opportunity to reflect on who you are, what you believe, and where you want to go in life. Many people fear being alone because it forces them to confront their thoughts, their fears, and their doubts. But instead of running from them, Embrace them. Ask yourself, what areas of my life do I want to improve? What habits, skills, or mindsets do I need to develop? When you approach solitude as a space for self-improvement rather than isolation, you unlock a powerful transformation. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires intention, action, and consistency. If you want to become stronger, smarter, or more skilled, you must dedicate time to learning and practice. Read books, take courses, explore new challenges, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Growth happens in discomfort. When you challenge yourself, whether it's by learning something new, taking on a physical challenge, or facing a fear, you build confidence. And confidence changes the way you experience solitude. Instead of feeling powerless, you feel empowered. Instead of feeling empty, you feel full of potential. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with being alone is that they tie their sense of self-worth to external validation. They feel valuable when they are needed, praised, or acknowledged by others, but true self-worth comes from within. It comes from knowing that you are growing, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself, whether anyone is watching or not. When you commit to personal growth, you stop relying on others to define your value. You build a sense of identity that is strong, independent, and deeply fulfilling. But growth alone is not enough. True fulfillment comes from taking what you've learned and using it to contribute to something greater than yourself. Contribution gives life meaning. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you can give. It reminds you that even when you are alone, you are still connected to the world in a meaningful way. Contribution can take many forms. It can be as simple as sharing knowledge, helping a friend, volunteering, creating something valuable, or inspiring others through your actions. It doesn't have to be big to be significant. Every act of contribution, no matter how small, reinforces your sense of purpose. The beauty of contribution is that it turns solitude into service. Instead of seeing your time alone as something to endure, you see it as a chance to build yourself up so you can make a greater impact. The stronger you become, the more you have to offer. And the more you offer, the more connected and fulfilled you feel. Many people believe that happiness comes from taking, getting attention, receiving love, accumulating possessions, but real, lasting happiness comes from giving. When you contribute to something bigger than yourself, you experience a level of joy that cannot be matched by personal gain alone. Growth and contribution also create deep, meaningful connections. When you work on yourself, you attract people who align with your energy, your values, and your vision. Instead of clinging to relationships out of fear of being alone, you build connections based on shared purpose and mutual growth. The best relationships, whether friendships, partnerships, or collaborations, are formed between individuals who are complete on their own, but choose to grow together. Being alone does not mean being disconnected. It means having the freedom to grow at your own pace, to develop your strengths, and to contribute in ways that are meaningful to you. It means realizing that happiness is not something you find in others, but something you cultivate within yourself and share with the world. When you embrace personal growth and contribution, you stop seeing solitude as a limitation. You see it as an opportunity, a powerful, transformative space where you can become the best version of yourself. So if you want to be happy alone, commit to growing. Learn every day, challenge yourself, expand your mind, and develop your skills. Then take what you've learned and use it to contribute. Help others, create value, give back. Because when you focus on growth and contribution, you don't just fill your own cup, you overflow with purpose, fulfillment, and joy. And that is the key to true, lasting happiness.